It's time for the shop report with
Barbershop Jay.
What up, though? Welcome
What
to
is going on?
special presentation of none other than the Turnbuckle. I, of course, am your host, none other than Creative Control Jay. And I got my mans with me on my right, your left, or maybe I'm going cross-eyed, but nevertheless, his name is D Gully from the CO Lumbus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on. Let me maximize my screen
Yes,
so
sir.
you can see everything that I'm seeing. Man, what is going on? So we watching right now. We right there in SummerSlam land. Main event, Turnbuckle Powerbomb. Oh, Turnbuckle Powerbomb. Oh, skipped it.
Ooh.
Skipped it. Oh, switches it up. Flips it into a powerbomb.
Oh,
Oh, here it goes. Oh, gives him a curb stomp.
Is this it?
No, and it is not. I will tell you what. I don't know about the overall card, but I can tell you this for sure. This main event is delivering. You know, if you talk about like a team, right? You look at the team. Maybe you didn't get the best production. You know, some guys didn't show up the way you wanted them to. Then you've got superstars. You've got anchors. You got your mega players that are delivering. And I'll tell you what, this one right here is doing a lot. This is a heck of a main event. I don't know, fans, if you out there live watching it, let us know your thoughts there, man. Send us a chat or so. You see, I got my belt with me. You know what I mean? It's WWE.
Right.
You guys been missing us from the Turnbuckle. We haven't done some Turnbuckle stuff in a while, even though I think we did do some WWE content, and it hijacked one of our Shop Report broadcasts. Yeah, I see that.
Oh, they're good. Okay, cool. Bet. So definitely appreciate everybody checking in. Of course, we're live on Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Meta, YouTube. So by all means, we are of the people, not above the people. So drop a comment below. Let us know what you're thinking. D Gully, you want to keep rolling with the main event that we have here live, or do you want to
right now? Yeah. So I'll tell you what. Here's how we can do this, man. I will say, if you're watching it, fans, I think this is one of the best main events in quite some time. I think that I feel like it's so natural and organic. These two, you know what I mean? They work well together, Seth and Roman. And I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm not even gonna try to shoot on this. You know, I'm gonna work this one. When we watch it right now, I'm gonna try my best to work this one, not shoot on it.
Okay.
And what we getting here, we're getting two Titans. I don't know if you missed the power bomb. Each of them had a power bomb on the announce table. It started with Seth's first. No, it started with Roman's first. He went for that spear, and he caught him. And Roman caught him, picked him up, delivered him, and delivered a power bomb. And only moments later, Uh-oh. The ref is down. The ref is down.
No, here we go.
Dirty deeds. Nope. Oh, see, they're making callbacks to they're making callbacks to the Shield member. Uh-oh, here we go. Now there's no ref. Ref is dazed. This ref got speared. Curb stomp on Reigns.
Mhm.
Reigns speared the official. Rollins moved out the way. Reigns speared the official. Curb stop on Reigns. No official. Roman's down in the center. Reigns down in the corner of the ring. Oh boy. They're out of it. They're exhausted. Reigns can't get up. Rollins look like he on the street that don't know his name. Hold on. No, he's looking at him though. Making eye contact with Reigns. Reigns is seeing stars. And we're not talking about the network, folks. Uh-oh. He's looking on the outside. He's looking at that title. He's looking at something. Reigns is making his way outside. Sean Bennett is out. Sean Bennett is asleep. Sean Bennett took NyQuil, folks. Oh, he's walking over to that title.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this live, if you're there live, I think, oh no, he's going for a chair. This is about to spell Seth Rollins' doom.
You think so?
Yes. Yes, he's going to be speared with that chair. He's going to take a Superman punch to the chair. Yep. Can you believe it's been 12 years since we've seen that? Since the swerve? Uh-oh. But just remember what happened a few nights ago. Remember, he tried it. He saw it. Remember Monday night? Seth saw it happen. Remember, look, he's watching it. What? He didn't want to do it to him again.
Whoa. What?
There you go. Yeah. No. Yep. This is going to happen. Roman's going to win.
Think so?
Well, Roman's going to get DQ'd. The ref will see the chair.
Which is it?
He sees it. He looking at the screen. I think he's going to let it happen. I think he's going to let it happen. let it happen. Yeah, he wants to let it happen. He wants him to do it. Oh boy, what drama!
I'm not sure what to make of this.
Well, they don't have any. They're making them both faces. Exhausted. Uh-oh. Yeah. Whenever you get into these depths, this is where Roman Reigns always comes out on top. And I feel like this is what's going to happen here. Roman Reigns is going to come out on top. This is what happened to CM Punk at Mania. And it's going to happen here. Roman Reigns just has that. He just has more in the tank all the time. He always got that one NOS tank. Look, they're going to wear him out.
Is that second wind of his comparable with the Undertaker?
Got comments. Our host with the most who's supposed to be at work, but somehow got time to chat with us. He's talking about we got comments. No, you never gave me a spanking. We got gloves for that, sir.
I'm going to pin this to the comment to the top here.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. With the right in the ring, no ref. Oh, super kick. Superman punch. He didn't fall. Seth stayed up. Oh, here's that spear. Oh, pedigree. He caught him with the pedigree. Reigns is down in the middle of the ring. Seth's in the corner. He knows it's coming. He's not going to make it. Roman ducked. He caught him with it. Nope. Oh, no. Curb stop from the middle rope. Oh, he about to catch it with a Superman punch.
Yeah,
this is about to be epic.
Bro.
This is about to be, oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, here it comes. Got him with the spear.
Mm-hmm.
There's still no referee. Don't worry about it.
Here
comes another spear. Here comes another spear. Where's the ref? Where is the ref?
Wow.
What if we hear from the... Where's the ref? Oh, yeah, you got to do it. You know what you got to do. You gotta end it. Ooh. Look, he waiting for it. Look at him.
One. Perhaps.
Yeah. Where's the ref? The referee comes in.
Oh, is this it?
That's it.
Wow.
He had to let himself go. I'm not mad. I'm not upset at that. I would like to Seth had won it, but I'm not upset at that. I'm not upset at that. And yeah, like your name, Creative Control J. I like your caption, no selling, huh?
Yeah, look, I mean, I won't deter too much, but I did notice a little bit more of it, in particular on night one. But I just know that we hear, we're bipartisan when it comes to the brands. And, for those that aren't in the IWC,
right,
they tend to point to one company that tends to do that a little bit more than the other. But I just want to make a mention that it's happening in both. That's all. I'll leave it just very short, very sweet. That's it.
I don't think it's as egregious in the in the main brand 1 as it is in 2. I think what happens is in the main brand, in brand 1, it happens at a time where you wish it wouldn't. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the difference, right? The no seller comes at a moment where, nah, we need that one, right? Versus the other brand, they want to show you the choreography. Like, you might as well just have the director say, cut, all right, and scene, and go to the next. But listen, I mean, in fairness though, these guys and what they do. So let me continue to say that what we're watching, this performance, is theater and it's high risk as anything. So it's just what we like to see the way we like to see it, we should be able to comment on what it is or critique what it is we're watching as entertainment, considering this entertainment, right? But that being said, I'll limit my critique to just how I observe it. Not to say that these guys don't deserve any of the credit that they get for being in phenomenal shape and phenomenal condition and allowing themselves to be beat in the face for our entertainment, just subjecting themselves to that. So let's make sure we understand that we love it as entertainment, and even if we got critiques, we appreciate what it is they do. And you can clip that. And we're watching.
Can I ask quickly? Did you like the? I know you mentioned it live, but did you feel it delivered with the tribute to Mox?
Yeah, because it wasn't overly done. It wasn't too much, right? It was subtle, because then they had to keep in mind he not at this moment, he's not back, and he's not going to be back. And it's very much about these two. And you have to, it is hard to, it would be a disservice.
I did that on purpose. Hang on a second. I did that on purpose. I'm doing the LeBron thing.
Look, he's calling for him in the ring. He's calling for Seth in the ring. Yeah, it's if you
okay. So what do you make of this now? Wait a minute. Hang on. Let's
it kind of has to happen. Like, they want to put it to, they want to put it to rest. Like, let's see if the heel turn happens here. Because if any one of them do something, if anyone does a sneak attack, that's the heel turn, which would be cool for me. Well, you know what? Why don't you sit down? And why don't you go and you know what? Why don't you sit down?
Now, what do you make of this?
We'll see how it works. Don't play the Shield music. 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 Please don't play the Shield music. Thank you. Hold on, unless he does it. Come on. Let's see.
A new contender emerges. What do you got here? Anything? See you later. See you tomorrow.
Nah, it was necessary, so that way we can from this point forward we can. It was long overdue, actually. From this point forward, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have distinct career arcs, right? And you don't have to associate them with their time to each other, like, and because that's always been hovering. No, I don't care how many OTCs, or I don't care how many tribe, you know what I'm saying? How much there's a tribal chief. It was in whatever faction Paul Heyman put together with Seth Rollins. None of it was going to calm or quiet the quiet part out loud, which is that Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were the Shield, and their launching pad came by way of that faction. Now that we can sort of put that to rest, to recognize that who they became because of that is great, but you have to recognize that this here, our beginnings are no more. It's like understanding that time is over with. We don't have to associate each other with the Shield. We don't have to associate with each other as the Shield anymore for us to be great in our own right, for us to have our own careers in our own right. And that's exactly what happened here. That's what happened tonight. And that's why Seth, he wore white. And they made mention of that. His ring attire wasn't the black. His ring attire was white. His ring attire was a total departure. Now, even though he lost, he had to lose, because the fact of the matter is because in their singles competition, if you will, history, Seth's always won. I mean, it wasn't on the straight up all the time, cashing in the Money in the Bank or whatnot. But the point is, Seth has always won. So by Seth not winning and Seth wearing white, these are the attempts that Creative is making at helping to end the Shield, the shared legacy of the Shield between them, and separate it. Now Roman Reigns has exercised the demon of having lost to Seth and having retained the title, so he can still talk and he can still bark that he's the biggest dog in the yard, so on and so forth. But Seth can go on and find another title and find himself in the main event picture again, sometime very soon. So I like it. I feel like it was a great ending to WrestleMania, to SummerSlam. I feel like it was a great ending to SummerSlam, and in the overall card, from everything that I've seen, everything that you've seen, it did a lot to end SummerSlam on a high note.
I can somewhat get behind that. Absolutely. It definitely, I think, rallied for me. I have some mixed feelings on the promotion overall, but I'll save that here for as we come across each.
There was nothing to exercise because there was no loss. The only thing that lost was your hair and your mind. If you thought
All right. And so without further ado,
that's why the title is still here. Do I need to cut a promo on our host? Do I need to cut
matter of fact, you know what? I am so glad you happened to say it and you said that in particular, because there's a new segment on the program and it's titled Cut That.
All right, cut that.
Go ahead and cut that promo on our host right now, D Gully.
Spot shot on me. See, this is going to be totally off the cuff. Let me explain something to you. For years, going all the way back to 2004, this thing called the Shop Report has been an incredible journey started by you, Barbershop, spearheaded by you, Barbershop, with your passion and your vigor and your oceans of knowledge of all things sports and the connection and the relativism between sport and life and all the analogous natures of the things that we see on the court or on the field in everyday life. You took me along like little brother, and I rode with you through the dark days, through the podcasts, through the video podcasts. You go all the way back. You got the film, you got the footage. It's all on YouTube. You can see it. But one day, as little brother, I had to step up. I had to go out in my own right. And I did that. And that's what you mean, Gully. That's the legacy that I started from you, and I forged my own path. I see the problem is, Barbershop, you have to know that I am my own man too. And I have to step alongside with you. I'm no longer little brother. I'm compadre here. And that's what this title means tonight that I have. That's what this show means tonight, that I'm very much here along with you, alongside you. So if you ever forget that, and I hope you don't, oh, stop lying like you didn't even want to do the show. Is that what you got to say? That what you got? I didn't want to do the show. If I didn't want to, I want to now, and I want to continue and continue because of you, because of the inspiration that you put. The battery you put in my back is still charged. I think sometimes you forget that you put the battery in my back, and so when I want to continue, I'm here right alongside you, bro. So if you want to remember that way, that's great. If not, if you need me to remind you, you know where I'm at. You know what size my gloves are. You know what size my shoes are. We can handle it there. But just know, I'm here with you. That's all I got to say about that. Go to commercial.
This is Cade Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doug Flynn of the New York Mets. Well, a few other teams, of course, too. And you're watching the Shop Report.
Hi, I'm Heath Bell from the New York Mets. and you're listening to the Shop Report podcast. Yeah.
Hey, CO Moore, tune in live to the Shop Report, man. Checking in with the Chicago Bears. You heard it here first.
That's right, and we did exactly that. And without further ado, D Gully, moving on to, of course, what has taken place over this past weekend. We had none other than night one in the SummerSlam space, of course. And, well, where do we begin? How about with none other than
Let's
start with
Yeah.
Liv Morgan and Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. What do you go ahead. The floor is yours.
Excellent way to start SummerSlam. Excellent way to start it. I'm gonna give that match 4 stars. I'm gonna give the match 4 stars. I think the best part about the match was the pacing. I was in it from I was shopping and buying cigars and still had my phone watching SummerSlam, watching the match. They kept me engaged. They kept me active. Maybe because I'm a fan of the sport, but I don't think they did too much. They like overdid it. I think that match was an excellent way to start the whole entire program. I like the spots. Hold on. I gotta remember. Well, hold on. What was the one spot? Man, I tell you what. This is bad because I forgot the spots that they had. But just put it this way. Overall, I wasn't upset with Liv retaining the title. I was not upset with that. And I think that was one of the better matches of night one overall, actually. Probably the second best match of the night.
Wow. On your 5-star scale, before I give mine, go ahead and or your point scale rather.
Pacing, spots, and story. Pacing, spots, and story. Pacing, I give it a 5. Spots, I give it a 4. I can't even do the math. Just know I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay, I look at this a little bit differently. I thought Io Sky absolutely did a great job of putting Liv over.
Okay.
I did catch the I think everybody did, of course. She seems to get kind of caught in the ropes a little bit frequent, I would say. Like even and I'm wondering if it's more of an equipment thing. Because it's like, again, that's just me, looking for something to complain about. But I mean, not really. But I would say outside of that, I mean, she carried the match. I thought Liv did a good job of selling. Raquel came in there and obviously helped Liv get over as well. And otherwise, I agree with you. No problems with Liv retaining, and would give this 2.5 out of 5.
2.5 out of 5. Okay, I gave it a 4, so I'm a bit more generous than you are. All right, well, maybe because I look at the whole card versus kind of keeping the match in its own, looking at that match itself.
Sure. That's fair. Hey, we don't have to. We can agree to disagree. The next one, of course, is the Usos and Jacob Fatu versus Royce Keys, Solo Sikoa, and LA Knight.
There's a reason why I said Liv and Io was second best match of the night. What did you think of it?
Well, I certainly thought it was better than the match that we're talking about in particular, that we led with. I would say a few thing. I want to see the work that occurs ultimately between, I believe it's Jacob and Booker T. I have a feeling like that there's some things coming here.
Okay.
That was going to actually be a tell me you did not just say that segment, and I may still get to it. We'll see if we have time.
Okay.
But I like Keys, man. And I would say, considering these guys, like having this feud kind of go over an extended period of time, these last, handful of weeks or so.
Yeah.
I felt like it went on maybe a tad bit too long.
Okay.
But outside of that, I felt like outside of that, everything else was good. It had its moments, but it wasn't. It was better than what we led with. And this, I'm fighting where I really am going with all of this.
Okay.
But I'm very much painting a picture. Go ahead, give me 3.5 out of 5 on this one.
I'll take a 3 out of 5.
All right. Wow, look at me being the nice guy.
Yeah.
Right along on night 1, we have Gunther versus Nick, of course. And if you remember, Gunther was in Sami Zayn had lost to Punk and Rhodes on the main event, and as well. And what I found was kind of strange about this, obviously, was like the gap in ring time.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I get the feud. I'm trying to think how to put this. Because we've watched him.
Watched who?
We've watched Gunther for a while.
Yeah.
And I guess I keep forgetting that this guy is Mickie James's husband.
Okay.
And I felt like this was kind of almost like a dark match, dude.
It's a dark match on prime time. Nick Aldis, I guess, earned the right to have a marquee moment as a ring performer, and this was what was given to him. I think I told you offline. I said, and when this match was coming on, my son, who's not really as much into wrestling as I am, or not that he's ever been, but he had the same feeling about Gunther that I did. Remember, I was not trying for you. Had to sell me on just how great Gunther is as a performer. And like Gunther has no flash. He don't seem like he had no presence. He just gets right in, gets right to work. I said to my son, I said, you feel the same way about Gunther now that I used to. Understand this. Gunther is notoriously safe. I think maybe Baron Corbin probably might be as safe a worker, if not safe. I don't know. Gunther's notoriously safe. Gunther's going to make you look good. He's not going to take any risks with you. He's not going to take any unnecessary risks. And he's going to have a match that makes sense, right? That's what Gunther delivered. Gunther had the responsibility to make sure that Nick Aldis, in his in-ring return, made it out healthy, right? Because that's such a concern, especially not being in the ring for 3 years or what have you. And then having a moment on one of your big 4 pay-per-views. I call them pay-per-views. I know they're PLEs. But anyway, having one of your big moments on your PLE, you want to make sure that it goes as well as it can. So who else to put him in the ring with but a guy like Gunther? That's why you have that match. The way it played out, it felt like a dark match. But that was what it was supposed to. It was supposed to be that because it's about a guy who hasn't had any he hasn't been an active performer in quite some time, so he has to be safe. So it's not gonna have a lot of risk, and I mean, and we're talking about guys that have sense, have a sense about them. So they in their 40s, and they might not about to do shooting star presses off the top rope onto a turn. You're not about to see that anyway. So I think this was as safe a play as it could be. Could it have been a match? Maybe this could have been a WrestleMania pre-show match, or I'm sorry, a SummerSlam pre-show match. But in this time slot, you know, it doesn't hurt too much. The overall card, I give it a 3-star match.
Yeah, I thought he was generous. I wasn't sure what, like I said, I wasn't sure what to really like make of it. I would have never believed that, you know, Gunther wasn't going to be put over here.
Right.
I mean, I get it from a show and a storytelling vantage point, but I think this is where storytelling goes wrong a little bit. Like this doesn't, unless there was like something contractually that said Gunther has to be in X amount of PLEs. I just don't understand why it was necessary to do this here.
Gotcha.
You know what you get what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It.
What I would like for Gunther to do, I would like for him to have a longer ring entrance. Make me hate him like I used to. Like he comes in, I get he's no nonsense. But see, for example, Stone Cold Steve Austin was no nonsense. Black tights, music hits, and he's just he walks to the ring. He has, you know what I'm saying? He has the rattlesnake eyes, walks the ring, means business. Gunther doesn't do that. Gunther don't give me that. Like Gunther, he's too imposing a figure to kind of like have nothing when he comes to the ring. Like you hear the music and all that, but like take some time, soak it in. You know what I'm saying? Give us a little bit of Raven. Make us like, man, make us look at you and have some angst or something about what's about to happen in the ring. I don't see that. I mean, an entrance can go a long way. An entrance can heck, you know, it's probably stars, if we talk about it, that their entrance is probably half the life of their career or half the story of their career. Think of the Ultimate Warrior, right? His entrance alone is undeniable. Heck, think about Hollywood Hogan, Voodoo Child on the loudspeaker. Like you couldn't resist that the magic of the moment that's about to be had simply from the entrance. Gunther, if Gunther is going to wrestle this way, which I'm learning to understand what it is, then he got to give me something that makes me want to engage more, because he come to the ring and he just walk and he just go to the ring and does his thing and then gets the heck out of there. Like we are in a sports entertainment business or industry, right? We're in sports entertainment. There's lights and bells and whistles. There's something that gets us in there. He don't have that almost deliberately, but he doesn't have it almost deliberately. He doesn't have that type of magic. That's not his appeal in the ring. His in action, his in ring appeal isn't that. So perhaps package it somewhere else. If not on the mic work, and at least give us an entrance that gives us that, you know, like Undertaker wasn't a great talker at all, but his entrance and his exit, for that matter, was the magic right there. And I think Gunther would do well, even at his elite level of skill, to add that to his package.
Well, something I do want to point out is, of course, Gunther as a worker, like you said, is top tier.
Right.
I actually think, as you point, I think you summed it up perfectly, stating there's no better person to put in the ring, like with Nick, somebody who hasn't been in there in a while,
right?
Than him. So much so, and there's so much confidence oozing from this guy, that I wanted to show you this clip, because what came to my mind is an exchange once upon a time that I know you missed, and this is our reaction to this content. We do not own this content. And here we go, Gully.
I want to see a struggle, the sweat flying, and somebody, going through a struggle to win.
I loved that you got you got on Tyra a little bit, my Olympic gold medalist.
Why does she not understand by now that she's a killer? No disrespect, you as her coach, why does she not understand that yet?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I had a moment where I'm like, bro, do you know who you're talking to?
D Gully.
Is there more?
There's
Let
not.
him-
So this is actually from LFG.
Yeah.
That would have been season 2. 2?
Yeah.
Almost positive it's 2. Where of course Tyra May Steele is no longer actually with the company because she went to a freestyle wrestling event and it was against policy. And so unfortunately she went, obviously, as you saw, that's a very real Kurt Angle gold medal. And they had some high expectations for her. But this now, again, being that it was season 2, season 3, of course, our guy Thunder Justice wins. And of course, he's doing his thing in NXT as we speak. And now, of course, we're into a new season. So what I want to point out, this before he hightails it to AAA. And what do you make of that, right? So what I'm saying is this is essentially about 12 months ago.
Right. He said that a up and coming talent, but he rests on his talent. Whereas there are 3 things that you need, man. As a wrestler, 3 things. And I think you may have heard this from other more involved minds in the business, but there are 3 things. You need a look, you need a work, and you need a mic. When I say a work, that means your ability to work and wrestle in the ring, right? Those are the 3 things: a look, a work, and a mic. A look would be your body, your attire, your showmanship, or your entrance. Any of those things, I think, are part of the look. Your mic is your ability to talk. And as you can see, I can cut better promos, but this is a family show, so I couldn't say what I wanted to say. So I spared you, Barbershop, but I digress. Your ability, your mic, and Gunther has solid mic skills, and of course he can work. But given that he has solid mic skills and the way he works, he's got to bring something to me that makes me more invested in watching him. And him just coming in the ring like that ain't it.
That's fair. Absolutely. But I wanted to just gauge your thoughts. Again, that was just a quick tell me you did not just say that segment. I do have one more for you that I wanted to gauge your thoughts. It's technically kind of a 2-in-1 here. What motivated and prompted the growth of this program with the Cut That segment was actually none other than Dusty Rhodes.
Okay.
Dusty Rhodes used to tell Cody to cut a promo while in the grocery store about random objects, and in order to groom him into the superstar that he is today.
Yeah.
So he would say, "Hey, cut a promo right now about this lettuce."
Really?
Now, to my response earlier this afternoon when I had heard that, it was, well, I heard you're giving everybody the runs.
Oh.
That's right.
So you cut a promo on lettuce. You cut a promo on that Bolthouse Farms, huh? I mean, not Bolthouse Farms. Cut a promo on that Caesar. Good old Caesar lettuce. Gotcha.
That's right. That's right. No Caesar salad here. But we will. I have no problem chopping you up and putting you in. Anyway, wait a minute.
Hey, this ain't after dark, bro.
That's right. I forgot where I was for a moment. And so, in addition to that, of course, Dusty Rhodes was somewhat of a hooper.
Oh, yeah.
And so Cody revealed that when today's modern built athlete that appears similar to Dusty and is often compared to Dusty, he actually has a problem with that because of the caliber of athlete, especially, again, I'm paraphrasing his words, for the size of the man that he was actually insanely athletic in that he views it as a slight in many respects, because he does not believe that it's apples to apples with a lot of the individuals that are being compared. What do you say to that?
Oh, so you said Dustin is saying, or Cody is saying?
Cody. Mm-hmm.
My dad is round, but he's far more athletic than y'all say. So everybody that's round, every roundhouse y'all putting up isn't as fit as my dad is. So just because he's round, don't put him in the same category. Okay, I get that. And yeah, you defend your dad. You know what I mean? I get that. I will hope that, as I age, that my children will defend my honor in that same way. So no, I get what he's saying. I can understand the logic because it's worth restating when in fact you see somebody like that and you understand how athletic he was. That's just like underestimating, or as almost like underestimating Bam Bam Bigelow's athleticism. Hey, by the way, did you see what they did to Rampage on his live stream?
That he is a wild man.
No, they called him. You just gotta look it up. But they called Rampage Jackson.
What they called him, or what he called himself at one point?
No,
all right.
What they called?
Okay, because I don't know if you saw that video too, bro.
No, I didn't see that one.
All right, he is a wild man, and yes, it is certainly entertaining. I don't know who's more entertaining on these live streams of late between him and Adrian Broner. Boy, I wonder if those two will ever cross paths
again.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do want to ask, same with, so Dusty Rhodes, and keeping with this basketball topic here quickly. There's a basketball video out there.
Mm-hmm. Of a world champion winning the tournament. Barbershop, you hear that?
Of Dusty Rhodes
winning a world title
in 1988.
Yeah.
And there you'll see, guys like Lex Luger, Sting. Matter of fact, wait a minute here. I believe I actually have just a quick couple seconds of the video. And again, we'll keep it moving here. But what I found most interesting about the video itself, or about this, is a charity match. And look at, there you go. You got this, our reaction, of course, Dusty for long range here. And this 1988, folks.
Yeah.
Okay. There's Lex. Oh, look, getting bucked. He got that. Look, Zach Edey can grab that ball down.
Yeah. Wait a minute. NWA versus PAL. Police. Barry Windham. Dusty. Ooh, with the lay-in. He's streaking up the court. Wait a minute. Dusty from 3. Oh, no.
So apparently, Gully, Dusty, this is against the Charlotte Police Department.
Yeah. And
he actually told these guys that his teammates,
yeah,
if they lose, they're fired.
Right. If they lose. Well, listen, that's the ultimatum, right? If they lose, you're fired. Imagine going to a charity line because of, Chief Wiggum. Chief Wiggum got a double-double. You better get it together because Chief Wiggum about to cost you your job. No, bro. No, Dustin went got right to work like that. No, we're not losing. Don't worry about it.
All right, and so just jumping back to night one here. Obviously, you know the next match, of course, was the Bella Twins, and of course Paige, and that is for everyone's amusement. Wood is the answer.
What? All right, man. Keep going.
And again, we had Fatal Influence was defeated by Paige and the Bellas. What did you make of this match?
You said what? You said Fatal Influence was defeated by Paige and the Bellas. Are you sure about that?
No, I said they yeah.
Paige and the Bellas won that match, bro. You sure?
No, I said they were defeated by, like, Fatal Influence defeated Paige and the Bellas.
Oh, all right. That's what I thought. I ain't hear you correct. I'm
tripping,
bro.
I'm like,
yeah, the picture got me, bro. Yeah, I'm glitching.
Yeah, I got you.
Because for a while, yeah, so they turned on her. Well, they're back. Shout out the tribute to
Tribute.
Yeah. Remember the yes kicks in the match.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Come on, bro. Come on, stay with me now. Stay with me. We're right here. Don't get lost in the sauce. I can tell you. Ooh, boy, you drifting. Sorry, let me get this off the screen. Yeah, but yeah, they did great.
Right.
They did all right. This matchup, was it was all right. It was a 2.5. It was a 2.5. I didn't see. Yeah, it wasn't. The pacing was all right. It wasn't enough that I could see. And again, maybe I'm different. Say what y'all will about it, but all right, the attire don't move me when I'm looking at women's wrestling. It don't really do much for me. I mean, you got to be exceptionally well shaped for me to be like, oh wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, one of my all-time favorite wrestlers is Bull Nakano, right? What was her ring attire? Was it really I don't remember. So when I'm looking at women's wrestling, that gets me. Like, you don't have to move like a man, like in that way. You don't have to be a brute, but like, show me athleticism more than just, okay, cool, I'm shapely and I got assets that I can move around and I can throw a kick. Like, I don't see that. And so when I looked at that match, I think everybody capable of better, but I just didn't see it. So it was a 2.5 for me.
Can I ask you this? The Bellas obviously turn heel.
Yeah.
Long overdue.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, long overdue. I think during their original run, that they could have. It would have been helpful for them to have a sustained dominant heel. Because I mean, when you think about twins, right? If you think about twins in general, we never really think about twins. Let's think about in all of the creative spaces we are. I mean, you had the Wonder Twins. All right, cool, but like, whenever you see twins in other forms of like entertainment or media, they usually are a bit to deal with, right? They're mischievous or kind of like, dare I say, evil, but they're antagonists at least. And because they're twins, that natural energy and synergy that they can provide makes them great and compelling antagonists. So the Bellas should have been doing that. Or you could have a good twin, bad twin sort of thing. I mean, we look at Jimmy and Jay Uso. You know what I'm saying? Has heels, it could work more. It could work much more. I think at heels, there's a lot of energy to tap into as a heel when you're a twin.
That's fair. I can agree with that. I look forward. I want to see what they do with it, but where we go from here. essentially. But I agree with you in essence with just your general sentiments kind of on the match and them turning heel overall. So in my case, I will give this about a 3.5. I didn't see the heel turn coming. I guess maybe some, I've been pretty much on top of those when pun intended.
And you say that for a women match. All right, bro.
when it came, historically with Xavier and Kofi,
yeah. That was still one of the more shocking heel turns ever. Xavier going, that was one of the more shocking.
We didn't see that video coming, that's for sure. And so, moving right along, of course, as the night continued here. Oh,
yeah,
I think we got it here.
We got 2 more matches.
That's right. And so, of course, we had Cody and CM Punk, and of course, we know that the outcome was none other than Punk defeating Cody. I did question Chicago's own Pepsi Phil with the Minnesota North Stars. As a 90s kid, I appreciated it, but as a person who's spent many years in Chicago, I did question him showing any kind of
love to the rival.
That's right.
Instead of having situational awareness, which Philip Jack Brooks historically has in any venue, in any arena.
That's right. So
it's not as if it was the Dallas Stars. I mean, you
remember it's a 90s kid, right? You think Mighty Ducks, which you know what? Can I go left here for just a second?
Sure.
The Mighty Ducks.
Yep.
I rewatched it recently. Obviously, I got the new one. I got the new one.
You shouldn't have did it.
No, but you know what? Right? I started.
They rewatch 90 films with a 2026 lens. This is not going to end bad. It's not going to end good at all.
So here I am. Right. For those that don't know, I've restarted the journey in parenthood, and so I wanted to, of course, introduce this cult classic while I could, have a lot more autonomy and influence. Like, you have to sit here and watch. And so upon doing so, Gully, there was a lot that I missed, dude. I mean, I've watched this countless times. I will quote Jan's Haas and Pfeffer and Eggs, and I had to Google what the bleep that even is. And of course, I still recall them. I'm like, man, they're going to miss the playoffs. I remember that. And it's like, oh, the team, conveniently, I feel like he had some explaining to do on how that team all conveniently got the measles. And then additionally, I thought that was rather convenient. But what really stuck out, dude, is Gordon Bombay's entire character. As someone that scored 50 goals at I think I was 7 years old, and kind of showed this phenom type of elements in my youth. Watching that and seeing this kid who was dominating, he scored an absurd amount of goals.
Yeah.
He had 198 goals, Gully. You realize that's in 14 games. He had 198 goals.
I told you, bro. I told you, man.
Let me get this wrestling thing off here for a second. I said, I do math. I'm one of those people, you go to the gas pump and it's like, okay, it's $4 or $3.86. And then you do times 17 or, 24, depending on the size of your tank. And then you get to the closest number, right? And they're like,
right.
And sometimes a lot of people can't do the math that quickly and are like, oh, okay. Well, so that's 14 games, that's over 15 goals, bro. That's where my mind went. I nearly turned the movie off with the child because I'm like, what?
Told you.
Hang on a second. Hang on. It gets worse. This dude. So wait a minute. You're telling me he was averaging 15 goals a game and his crook of a coach, that coach,
Yeah.
bro, I would have choked him out as an adult. We would have never crossed paths. I would have had a restraining order.
Bro,
He would have had a restraining order on me because I'm going to tell you right now, I was average. You're telling me now, bro, I was averaging 15 goals a game. 15 goals a game, and I brick a penalty shot. We didn't lose. Then we went to overtime. This dude over here, like, get out. Like, I didn't just carry this whole crew. I didn't just make your career.
I told you this is why you cannot watch the films of our past you cannot you cannot watch the films of our past with the 21st century lens, bro. You should not be watching the Mighty Ducks in 2026. Knowing what you know in 2020. You can't do it, bro. This is what I'm saying. Listen, because I'll put it this way. You ever look at the punch stats for Drago versus Balboa round 1?
No, and now,
No,
now you're
don't
gonna ruin it for me.
Don't look at the punch stats for Drago versus. Matter of fact, don't look at the punch stat. Don't look at CompuBox for Drago versus for Balboa versus Creed. You're not gonna like what you see for Balboa versus Creed.
No,
You ain't gonna like
it was the punch stats again.
I'm just saying, if you look, you're looking at numbers, right? I'm just saying, bro, you can't look. Listen, do not look at any films from the 90s in 2026. You cannot look at them. You cannot look at them in the same way. Don't do it. Don't try to look at them like, oh, this is a movie. It's a good movie. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Gremlins in 2026. You watching Gremlins?
No, but I just saw the stats, and I just remember I said I'm the math guy, right? I did the numbers. Do you realize that's almost 85% accuracy?
Right.
In 3 minutes, he landed 61 of 72 punches.
I told you. I told you, bro. I told you. Don't
Rocky threw 20.
I told you. I told you, bro.
In the first 3 minutes, he threw 72 punches, and Rocky threw 20.
Bro.
And then he extended it an additional 30, almost nearly 31. No, it was 30. Literally 30, right on the nose.
I told you, man. Yeah, I told you, bro. This is not.
Rocky had 97% accuracy.
In what round?
No, like in the 15th finish in the final round there. 36 of 37.
Right. I told you, man.
They didn't have one consultant.
There was not one ring, right? Especially after
Rock. Like,
yeah, and especially after what happened to Creed, there was not a single doctor.
I don't think that's a good number. Yo.
And anyway, so again, I mean, this is just we'll have to at some point address feature films and in the world of sports in particular. But bro, I saw Adam Banks get, when they slash him, you know what I'm saying? And he scores, and of course, he gets concussed. But this is the 90s, bro. There ain't no way his dad would have been like, no, come on, Adam, we're going home. No, he'd have been like, we'll be on the bench, get him something.
Yeah.
Get him something. It's the 90s, get him something.
Right.
And so just kind of in closing with that. But the thing is, when that occurs and he scores, they cut to the bench, dude.
Yeah.
And guess who's there? Adam Banks. Ah! Celebrating his own goal.
Why did you watch it? Why did you watch it? Why did you watch this, man?
I was really. So again, the tie-in, reeling it back here, is that of course Bombay was reintroduced to some of the. He introduced the team to, of course, some of the then Minnesota North Stars.
Yeah,
and right before they made their exit to Dallas, of course, and I really had a problem with this. Like I remember okay, they show that scene and he's out there and he's doing this, like kind of just vibing on the ice, like, and I really was like, man, this dude was averaging 14 goals and he just hung them up. He really nobody what an AAU coach would do to a player who was averaging 34 and just was like, you bricked a free throw, so we go to overtime. Do you think they're gonna? No, they would have carried him off of the floor. You know what I mean? To the bench. If he even just whispered, I'm thinking about letting this go.
Right.
You would have had some kind of intervention. And there is no way. I was so perplexed by the fact that I'm like, 14 goals, bro. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But again, the Minnesota North Stars, Pepsi Phil, of course, tying it all together with the bow here.
Yeah, with a big bow, because you detoured us for a long time.
I sure did. So again, kind of going back to that. Look, I get the speaking of Cody, I understood the Street Fighter reference. Of course, I'm from the era of believe his name is Damian Ciampa. He played Miklo in Blood In and Blood Out, and he also was Ken from the original Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And so I did like the new Street Fighter kind of reference there. But I don't know, dude. Did this deliver for you?
Unfortunately, it did not. Unfortunately, it was. I give this match a 3 stars. I think I don't know how much time these guys spend in the ring together. Because I feel like if this was a longer standing feud, it would have delivered more. CM Punk trying that moonsault and it not landing too well. It's unfortunate because it was a pretty decent thing for a guy at his age who doesn't really typically do that, adding to his arsenal. All I can say is, man, I really miss AJ Styles.
Well, you got Randy Orton coming out and hitting him with the RKO.
I said what I said. I said who I said. But that's the thing. The match was they missed some things that it's hard to overlook, right? But the intent was there. Had they connected more on those certain spots, it would have been a 4-star match. But it was a 3 because of that. I think pacing was pretty cool. I didn't love the Randy Orton spot for real. I ain't like it.
Look, there's clips of us on this program 2 years ago, and I said this is coming. You know what I mean? Like that we would get to Cody and Randy ultimately, and again, just given the history or legacy, if you will.
Yeah, but what I'm looking for though, I thought that if anybody deserves one last ride off into the sunset with a title, it would have been Randall Keith Orton. Considering what he was to the company, and he was the first, I can't say he the first, but before Roman Reigns was kind of like the chosen one, it was Randy Orton as the chosen one because of the family legacy. And I don't think I'm stepping out too far beyond my reach, beyond my depth, because I think Randy Orton said as much when he reflected on him missing the him and leading up to his match with Russ at WrestleMania with The Undertaker, and how he fumbled the opportunity. He didn't show up when he needed to, and he kind of took for granted his position because of his family name, and how that broke him and redefined him. I'm saying, with all that being said, Randy Orton was there. Randy Orton was the ideal heel for John Cena, and he worked well with that. And I think that Randy Orton at this age, still being able to deliver, I think he would deserve, if anybody, a bigger shot, or one last go around with the title, especially if CM Punk now has one. So that's what I would wanted to see. I would like to have seen Cody get the title back and then set that up for Randy Orton. Whereas he survives the interference from Randy Orton and wins the title and immediately sets his price, playing Randy Orton's game, the Viper's game. Like, yep, I got you mad at me. I got you on my sights. Now I got you where I want you because I can manipulate you because we're friends. You know, he can play that angle. You know what I'm saying? Play the work shoot angle with Randy Orton or with Cody Rhodes by doing that, by trying to sabotage his victory, trying to sabotage this match and it failing, but then setting their sights on. So that's what I think. But the match itself was like, man, it's a sign where you can tell that these guys, if this had been a few years earlier, it would have been a much better match. But it wasn't. We got the match that we have for its time. Still two of the biggest names in the company. And so I think that it was good. I think it was a good match overall, but like I said, 3 stars.
Yeah, that's fair. I will actually meet you right there with, I'll go a little bit higher. I'll go 3.5. I felt, and coincidentally, to your point about them not working enough together, I definitely liked the head scissor takedown that Punk did. And so before we move along into our final match from night 1, we will take a quick break.
Private parties at Legacy Adventure Park. What all do you get? A personal guide to lead you through the day. A private shelter with your gear prepped for gameplay. Shuttles to and from 7 of the best fields in the state. Safe zones to watch the gameplay risk-free. And all the food, drinks, and gear to keep you in the game. Book your private party today at Legacy Adventure Park.
Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report.
I'm Harvey Diallo, and you watching the Shop Report.
My name's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Oh, you're Jay Knight, you're watching the Shop Report.
Braxton Key, you're dropping in on the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Hi, I'm Mars Man, works at Mercury Stadium, and you're watching the Shock Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shock Report.
Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Dump Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doug Flynn of the New York Mets. Well, a few other teams, of course, too. And you're watching the Shop Report.
I'm Matt Ramos, and you're watching the Shop Report. How you doing? I'm Rajay Davis, and you're watching The Shop Report.
How you doing? This is Nelson Figueroa, former Major League pitcher with a lot of teams. You're about to listen to The Shop Report.
Hey, this is Howard Johnson. You're watching The Shop Report.
Hi, I'm Heath Bell from the New York Mets, and you're listening to the Shop Report podcast. Yeah!
Hey, I'm Josh Foley, former catcher of the New York Mets, and you're watching The Shop Report.
This is Edgardo Alfonso for the Mets, and you're listening to Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching The Shop Report.
Hello, this is Mike Hampton, and you're watching Shop Report.
Okay, Cunningham, and you're watching The Shop Report.
Hey, C.O. Moore, tune in live to The Shop Report, man. Checking in with the Chicago Bears. You heard it here first.
Hey, this is Herman Harvey, former NFL offensive lineman with the Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens. And you're listening to The Shop Report.
This is Josh Cribbs, three-time NFL Pro Bowler, all-decade return specialist. And you're listening to The Shop Report.
Cleo Miller, former Cleveland Browns, and you're listening to The Shop Report.
Hi, this is Dick Ambrose. You're listening to the Shop Report, and go Brown.
Hey, this is the top dog, Hanford Dixon. Listen to The Shop Report.
This is Ernest Biner, and you are listening to The Shop Report.
Hey everybody, Jimmy Has from Cleveland Browns, and I can tell you my favorite podcast is The Shop Report.
All right, and just like that, we are back. And so
Jimmy Haslam said the podcast, y'all.
That's right. That's right. All right, D Gully, moving right along to the final match of the evening of night one, that was of course Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. Of course, Oba went over.
Yes.
What
again? Great match. I think a lot of people felt the same way that I did. The ending was a bit anticlimactic considering where they were going. Like, I felt like Oba was going to win, and it seemed like the way it was building, it stopped us right before, it stopped us just a little short of delivering. Like, I thought maybe Brock might have had a little bit left in the tank before they put Oba over. But I'll tell you what, it sure enough made up for whatever we had seen in night one that was underwhelming. It definitely was a shot in the arm. It definitely pulled out and turned the card around. Overall, I was pleased with the card because this was the anchor. This was a main event this was a great main event for both. A great swan song for Brock Lesnar and great for Oba to establish himself as that next guy. I think what happened with this match was, I think more now that WrestleMania was creatives' attempts to just wag their finger at the smart marks. This was what was supposed to happen at WrestleMania. When Brock took off his boots and all that, he was really done then. But I think they were so intent. I think creative was so intentional on outsmarting the smart marks that they extended it on unnecessarily. So, because, Oba established himself as that guy back then. Nonetheless, that's all taken away from what we saw at SummerSlam. The spots were great. I felt like when we talk about breaking the fourth wall, I don't remember ever seeing that in a match before. Like, we've seen people pop up under the ring, but I've never, that to me felt like a bit like breaking the fourth wall, and I was pretty shocked by it. And it's basic. He's just basically doing home improvement, you know what I'm saying, disassembling the ring. But to see that he removed the top layer, showed the padding down to the wood paneling, and then delivered the tombstone on top of it with the Undertaker cross pin, that right there. If the match had ended that way, that would have been great. But for the match not to end at that moment, that was really cool, man. I definitely like the spot for sure. I just think that I just think it ended just a bit too shy, considering that, well, it wasn't even a minute later. You know what I'm saying? Did you get that? Did you get that same feeling?
No, I actually I did, and coincidentally, I wanted to point out here, in short, that I was still questioning why Oba was not going for the title shot. The only thing I could think of truly is legacy, right? We've kind of seen lately, like guys like Gunther and now Oba kind of go through Brock, and then certain other legends in particular, it kind of leads to that. So if Oba ends up on kind of that trajectory that Gunther was maybe a year or so ago, then fantastic. But otherwise, it didn't. The timing of it all didn't really make sense. But then, speaking of timing, the entrances for these two, took longer than the tag match that took place.
Well, when you have a look, you have that privilege.
Okay. All right. And so final thoughts for you on this particular match before we transition into night 2?
Now, it saved the night. It certainly was a palate cleanser for what might have been what was unfortunately not as great a match in Cody and CM Punk as we would have hoped. And again, it firmly establishes Oba as that guy, because I didn't see where he missed. I didn't see where he or Brock missed or delivered. And I would like to make sure, though, I would like to see Oba firmly on that path to where he is being, where he can handle the main events, because clearly he established that he could. I mean, if you can main event with Brock and hold your own and don't look like you were being carried while Brock still put you over, then you're good to go. Like, it's like the gatekeeper to stardom. That's why I feel like Brock was. And now that he said, like, the next version of me, or the next incarnation of my type of wrestler is firmly here. Great. Glad for him. Thanks, Brock, for everything. But we good with Oba. And I would like to see Oba dominate. Because certainly I think he can handle it. And the reason why I think he can handle it is because he has a microphone. And if you can talk, you can go a long way, especially in the business where we already talk about how long people are on the mic. If someone's on the mic and they're good at it, even though we want to see more action than talking, if you're good on the mic, you at least make it worthwhile. If you're giving us more talking and you ain't good at it, then that's a big problem. Oba's not going to have that problem. So good match, good night. Let's move on to night 2.
Before we do, Gully, I just have to point this out as compliments to the dirt sheets here. Night 1, 85 minutes of actual wrestling, 21 minutes for the women. And the show was over 3 hours. So much so that, of course, if you remember, it did kick off with it being daylight.
Okay. Whoever did this graphic, they seem to have liked everything that they saw. So these are the highlights. The show was over in 3 hours. Good. They started at 6, so you're done by 10. Wait a minute, 85 minutes, 90. So we're talking about close to 90 minutes, 20. So the women got a decent amount of airtime. Basically, this was a well-rounded show.
You think so? 180 minutes. And 85 of them are actual wrestling.
Of 180, almost half of it was wrestling, is what we're saying. Yes. Almost half of it is wrestling. Let me think about this here. This is an entertainment industry. It's full of promotion. All right. We had to see so much Street Fighter promo and Wheatley's vodka promo and whatever WWE shop promo and whatever. So I've seen where the promo time, whatever it was, the 90-minute promo time, and then you still had, maybe 100 minutes of wrestling, and the show is lasting 3.5 hours. And then how well were we thinking about the matches then? Like, I think if these are the containers by which they want to target their programming, great, because I think we'll get better matches with these time constraints. I think we should get higher quality matches with these kind of time constraints. I don't want a program that starts at 6 o'clock and then it's 10:17 and we still got the main event to go. Do you? It sound like what is the 85 minutes of wrestling your problem?
We took a step forward.
Took a step forward. Oh, now I can tell you a Browns fan. He took a step forward. I'm
going to say something, right? Okay, so Triple H, of course, was this. I got a big problem with. Okay. So Triple H does his press conference. The first two questions come from WWE Radio, what was Busted Open Radio. But of course, the station itself is owned by XM, and the agreement was now created after folks like us and others were able to prove it out. The problem is, what once was inclusive to all brands is now clearly one-dimensional. And the first two questions of the post-media scrum came from them.
What were the questions? Do you remember?
Don't care.
Okay.
Don't care. And here, I'm going to tell you why. Some of the people that were in there, right, we try to get credentials, just hypothetically. Once upon a time, I submitted for credentials.
Mm-hmm.
People were calling him sir. Does that sound like you ever heard somebody talk to Bill Belichick like that?
No. Mr. Belichick, coach.
Sports Illustrated, ESPN, you name it, right? Insert publication here.
They would call him coach.
And they gave him softballs.
Right.
My issue is this. They took a page out of a larger book.
Yeah.
And are doing their best to control the narrative. I'm typically not really like, if you've watched us long enough, I'm pretty like even keel. Like if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Right.
Okay.
And so, or better yet, like if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. This is terrible for what we're trying to do. You know the saying, like if you tell a lie so long, it could become the truth, right?
Right. Tell a lie so much you start to believe.
Correct. So right now, like I actually won't. I took that channel off the presets the minute it became that, because I didn't want the biasness that comes with that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to hear one-dimensional radio.
Yeah, so it's like do you feel like it's disingenuous? Like they have a radio show,
They're not gonna say that. Look, the dude from ESPN, one of the randoms that got let go was the guy who did the coverage for them via ESPN, and he gave one of the PLEs like a C. I didn't find that, like, his contract was not cut for Pat McAfee's. Like, he was not making that much, is my point. It was, hey, we don't like what he said. That claim that, again, this is all hearsay, but it's not that far of a reach. It's my point. So criticism of the brand is almost not allowed today. And that's become a major issue uniformly. We take criticism all the time. It's how you get better, people.
That is a big problem.
That's my issue with this. Like, if your product sucks now because everything's become so transactional.
Right.
And I don't think, like, the truth be told, we don't really want consultant me to give my honest opinion on where I think the better long-term investment would be. Because just like the NFL is going to have a bottoming out issue that Roger Goodell won't have to deal with, but somebody else absolutely will. These folks are going to have to also. So my question is, Gully, Vince once had a network, and the network was not even biased like this.
Right.
I've said more filler, less bumps. 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours. I got to stay there 3 hours. Half of that time, as you pointed out, is deemed actual programming.
Actual wrestling. Mm-hmm. You don't count the entrances as part of the... No?
Bro, the way that them dudes have had their legs broken in army crawled to these rings so they could get commercials in, and just it is disingenuous to sit here and act like, look, I'm typically not the purest of this thing, right? I remember the days of, oh my gosh, could you imagine our jerseys looking like the ones overseas with all of the, all the sponsors on them?
Right.
And you got a video game in the middle of the ring now, and countless other brands. That's where this has gotten. That's where we've gotten.
Okay, a lot of sponsorships, a lot of money, a lot of marketing, a lot of promotion, a lot of cross promotion, a lot of.
You know what? None of that is
wrestling.
Yes.
Which is the entertainment medium that we're coming to watch. We came to watch professional wrestlers. We didn't watch. We don't come. We're not there for the Wheatley's vodka. We're not there to watch. Street Fighter. Actually, we're going to watch Street Fighter because our wrestlers are in it, and 50 Cent. Like, that's why we're going to watch the movie, right? So we want to see the guys in the ring that are professional wrestlers do what they do best, and we like the atmosphere. Let's say the traditional atmosphere surrounding wrestling. We like the suspension of disbelief. We like everything that professional wrestling as a form of entertainment presents to us. And it's being compromised in a significant way by all of the revenue drivers that seem to work for getting more revenue for the company. And then hopefully that revenue comes back to the wrestlers themselves, or those that make it happen between the wrestlers and the writers and the producers and the stage crews and those that are germane to the product. So I do understand. For 3 hours of showcasing and creating revenue ad dollars, we got 10 matches, or we got 5 matches, basically. And then, unlike you and the departure you and I have is, I think that the entrance, maybe the exit, is part of the match, because at that point we're dealing with the wrestlers doing their thing, and now the focus is on what we're about to see in the ring. So you don't even give them the entrances. I give them the entrances. But that's the difference between you and I. That's the difference. Doesn't make me better or worse. Doesn't make me worse. Doesn't make you better. Doesn't make me better. Doesn't make you worse. It's just a difference.
Right. So it leads into tonight too.
All right.
And so we get Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio.
Interesting match. Pretty funny. I give it. How can I give this match 3 stars and give CM Punk and Cody Rhodes 3 stars? I tell you what, because I'm me. All right. And consistency or whatever, it's wrestling. It's what I'm critiquing. It's what I'm commenting on. Yeah, it's the same 3 stars. Well, not to say there are the same 3 stars, but it's for different reasons. I think the match delivered on it being sort of that break in between. It was something decent to see. I tell you what, the Micro Machine Luchadors, they had some great spots. The suplex, the Hurricane Riders, and the swinging, rotating DDTs. No, they delivered. So I tell you what, I was pretty well entertained from it. And then actually see Danhausen actually wrestle, because as a character he's over, but as a wrestler, because like you said, that's what we come to see. I wanted to see, can he really get down? And the fact that he had to wrestle against Dirty Dom, whom I've said many things about over the past, was pretty interesting to me. That signifies growth from Dirty Dom, as well as being a pretty cool, entertaining match for Danhausen. And I wasn't I was not upset with it.
Were you upset that the young lady who sung the national anthem was, of course, one of the daughters of Triple H and Stephanie?
Why would I be upset at that? LeBron James.
There's those that view it as nepotism, but
it is nepotism. It is, because you know what? You know what pisses me off? I gotta say this thing. What pisses me off about nepotism is that we lose sight of what we would do in the same position when it comes to someone having an opportunity that doesn't necessarily hurt anybody else. All right, for example, there are going to be hundreds of more events where people can sing the national anthem. I don't think that Stephanie and Paul's daughter took away the life-changing opportunity from somebody else singing the national anthem today. I don't think so. So I don't think that Bronny James took away a life-changing opportunity from somebody being a LA Laker. Even if I think it was a bit premature for him, because I don't necessarily know that he was game ready. Anybody in that position of LeBron James or Paul Levesque would have done the same thing. I don't know who wouldn't have if they had that position. Well, I can't say I don't know. I can't say anybody, but I would say a great deal of people, because you got to consider what it would take for you to be in a position where you could pick your daughter or your son to put there Where does that mean for you to be in that type of position, to be a major executive of a multi-billion-dollar company, entertainment company, having an event where you can showcase the developing talent of one of your kids? And you're going to say, nah, because I don't want to be considered, I don't want this to be viewed as nepotism. Nah, I'm putting my son there, I'm putting my daughter there if they're ready because I got the clout to do that. Now, I think people have a problem with it because I think the apprehension is warranted because when we talking about putting like banking executives, or you think about in corporate America where we see it, and a person gets a long-term job that's unqualified to do so just because they the son of or the nephew of, and they end up in a position where they can really, where somebody else more qualified can do the work, and they're in that position for long enough that they actually negatively affect the atmosphere of the work around them. They maybe negatively affect that company's space competitive as it relates to their competitors. They mismanage their job. So I can understand the apprehension of it. But what I'm saying is, if I'm an entertainer and I got my daughter here in the form of entertainment or sports, remember, it's sports and entertainment we're talking about here. I'm not going to be angry about that. Because if I put myself in a position where I've done the work and I work hard and I put in the hours and the time and the day, right? Which is the question that I would ask anybody who's offended by it. If you put in the hours to put yourself in position to do that, your hours, your time, your sweat, your tears, your insight, your wisdom, your sacrifice, to get yourself in a position to nepotize your child in a position you wouldn't do it, considering you know what you know about the atmosphere, about the environment you putting them in, to know that if they can handle it or not. You won't do it because you just don't want to appear to other people who are not putting in the sacrifice that you put in to be in this position. You don't want to make you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. And we're talking about entertainment. You're talking about singing the national anthem, playing a game of basketball. I don't see it that way. And if I'm worried about it, and in fairness, if I am worried about it, what I'm going to do is I would preemptively maybe prepare my child so that way they're ready for when I anoint them to that position. Because if I'm able to nepotize my child or my nephew, and I know that they can do the work, and I've seen them do the work, and I've watched them develop, and I've watched them grow, and I watched them try, and I watched them fail, and I watched them sacrifice and develop themselves, and I'm in a position to qualify and quantify and to make good on all the sacrifices they made, then I'm going to put them in that position. And I don't think that people think too far about it. They just look at who's there and just get and dismiss, or just naturally just get so turned off by the term or how they got there, when they're not looking at the sacrifice it might take to be in a position to put somebody there. And that's what I think people should consider more before they get upset that Stephanie and Triple H's daughter is singing the national anthem. Like, do you even stand for the national anthem anyway at this point? Were you not grabbing popcorn anyway? Did you record it? When is the last time you gave about the national anthem and who was singing it?
Well, the real reason why I was getting to is obviously the match that we were just talking about, which is Dominic and Danhausen. Obviously, Dominic's last name is Mysterio.
Right.
Whether he likes it or not, right? Dominic Mysterio has won a championship.
Yep.
Dominic Mysterio has defeated John Cena.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And tell me,
Dominic Mysterio
needs
to go to AEW.
I mean, we won't
look. I'm sorry. We're not the burial of this. You and I once upon a time on this show, and this is why I said I was saving it. I was saving all this for one at a time. I would start getting to them. Dominic, obviously, on AAA is probably the best thing that can happen for him currently. He'll have a run with El Grande Americano, and but
he needs to go to AEW though.
Yes, dude, because the burial of him, like this is how you know some things haven't changed.
You think he's getting buried?
Bro, he just lost to a clown.
Okay.
You said you weren't here for the D's in such.
Yeah.
But you were here for that.
Because it's wrestling. It's professional wrestling. Think of it this way. What did we see on that stage that we wouldn't see if we went to a local, when the IWDPWA comes to the old home buys warehouse and you get the tickets when you go to your library, what do you see?
Bro.
When you see what's the guy, what is his name that performs like Michael Jackson and moonwalks people to DDTs?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, look at your
cocaine.
face. Yeah, look at your face. Right. What we pay money for that. Remember, Doink had all the Doink, Dink, Wink, Stink, and Tink, or whatever they call Doink the Clay. We see it like what is the problem here? You put Dom in a match where he's competitively on the level of his competitor, so we know that he's not being carried, or we don't know if he's being carried or not. Unlike you put him in the ring with AJ Styles and John Cena. I know he got to win over John Cena. That was more appalling than this. Because he in there with somebody of perceived to be of similar skill. Maybe Danhausen is a much better performer, wrestler than him. So I don't intend to disrespect Danhausen. But what I'm saying is, it's ambiguous whether Danhausen is truly miles away from Dirty Dom, or put it this way, character-wise, if you were having me believe in what I'm watching, Dom could conceivably have won this match, and I wouldn't think it would be abnormal, unlike him beating John Cena.
He's burying him. Let's keep it a buck here.
Maybe he's being buried because perhaps the thing that I said about Dominic.
He missed the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Come on, dude. In the Create a Superstar era.
Yeah.
He missed the Rumble. He got pinned while being a double champ. Oh, he missed the Elimination Chamber.
You think he's skilled?
He lost the IC title in his first offense.
To whom?
Irrelevant.
No, it's relevant.
Irrelevant. Irrelevant.
No,
I watched Cody and Shinsuke Nakamura,
his
biggest opponent,
can you say to whom?
for like the first calendar year of his
Can you
reign.
just say to whom? Who did Dirty Dom lose his IC title to?
That is irrelevant.
Can you just say it?
I will not. I will not.
Can you just say?
And now he just lost Danhausen.
You know what? Because you're depriving the fans.
They always have to. They look, these guys that he goes against, like, they always have more offense than him.
Uh-huh.
Remember, I kind of I went out on that limb a handful of years ago and said that this, I could see that what potential he had. And now he's very much being a team player, but it is just,
he lost to Penta. You didn't want to say. You didn't want to say he lost the match
right.
to a
for obvious reasons, right? He's been in the news lately.
Huh?
He's been in the news lately.
Who, Penta? Yeah. Well, let's go to night 2. Let's talk about that.
That was night 2. Well, what I'm saying is, dude, I mean, look, I get it. Look, Triple H when talent questions him about wanting a push, he actually asks, "Are you more over?" and it inserts 4 or 5 names.
Now, why you say he need to go to AEW though? That's elite. Why not back? Why not back to NXT? Why not back to where Shawn or Undertaker can work with you?
Well, no, and that's where he's primarily now getting the most opportunity at AAA. But that's not the A program, bro.
See, here's the deal.
That's not the A program.
This is
we're not going to just throw everybody on the island, right?
What do you mean? Dominic Mysterio got the name Mysterio from his daddy, Rey Mysterio Jr., which I don't even think that's his real name.
Which that was his uncle. Remember the whole thing? Yeah.
Right. Oh, it might be so Mysterio might be the name, right? Anyway, point is, ultimately, Dom needs to learn how to wrestle. So remember how I was having remember how I was having a huge problem with Dom's push?
Yeah, you said he was a little green, you felt still.
Right. So now he's stagnant because he was as green as he ever been, but he kept getting the push. So now you see what
kept getting a push. Golly. You think right now you're watching him now and you don't think he's improving or / improved?
Is he as talented as his push was? As his push was great. Clearly, there was a huge gap. And this was my concern about Dom the entire time. And now what you're coming faced with is the fact that there's a gap, because now you're saying his push is then dried out. Yeah, because he wasn't as talented as the push he got. And this is what I was kind of concerned about him for, because he wasn't as talented as his push was. Now you need him to be as talented as his push was. Otherwise, you get Danhausen matches.
You're right. I mean, I was, and that's exactly why I would be all elite, because that push was years ago.
About 3 years.
That's right.
There
has been tremendous growth, right? I will say this: there have been countless others that have gotten a push, some that have been over with the crowd, and many that really haven't. And we'll get to some of them here soon. But the problem is 3 years have elapsed, right? Like if you remember when we talked about Oba, and I was like, don't screw this up. Don't ruin him.
Right.
You got a unique opportunity here. And again, we'll see if they squander it. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah.
But we've seen this before. And I don't know. I think this is where creatively it needs to be challenged.
Right.
And I think there is some I think back, and we'll get to this ultimately later in the show. And all I'm going to say is I think back to yesteryear, back in my day.
Back in your day. All right. You see, all
we had a cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
That's right.
I did.
And for whatever reason, all the Juventudes and La Parcas and individuals of the Eddie Guerreros and Chavos and
Chris Jericho,
Finding Nemos, all of them found a home.
Right.
None of them were buried sent to the other program.
Right. Right.
And I will simply leave it at that. And I think the 15 minutes.
Well, wait. Hold on. Whoa. Back in the day, we had a cruiserweight division, right?
That's right.
What you said. And we saw the guys in the cruiserweight division. They were at a point talent-wise, the cruiserweights actually carried the action for that program.
That's right.
They really did. They probably set the tone for that program. So an abundance of cruiserweight type, luchador type talent is in AAA. That's where Dom is spending time, right? So isn't that aren't we both saying the same thing? Well, no, I can say no, that's a leap in logic. But I'm saying his push exceeded his talent level, but he's shoring that up because he's in the ring with guys now. More body type and skill matter. So he's learning how to move in the frame that he's in. Right, he can be a taller luchador for sure. He can certainly develop and become. I mean, look at Grande North Americano. Look at Chad Gable. He can certainly do all of that, and he's in the realm where he's got an abundance of talent that can help him. So he's going to become more skilled, and if that's the case, then his comfortability with the mic and with a look will be there. He will become the guy he was pushed to be way too early. That's what I think. That's what I think of Dom. Dom's push was a bit premature.
The thing is, though, if you ask Eric Bischoff,
yep,
right?
If I ask him what?
The why behind the creation of the division.
Okay.
And it was to differentiate from WWE while still attracting the same demographic that they were looking for.
Yeah, certainly.
And the thing is, when I see a match like what I saw, and when I see Dom and when I watch AAA, to be honest, dude, it's you can call your bull. You could what's that? You can put lipstick on a pig, or you can put powdered sugar on something. Our Barbershop Jay would say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. The storytelling for me is like, something in maybe a nursing home.
You talking about for Dom in this match?
Yeah, dude, to be jobbed by a jobber. That's where we're at now.
Well, that's unfortunately, yeah, that's where we arrived at because of where Dom is.
That's all. That's all.
And again, Dom is certainly Dom has the genetics and the pedigree and the history, and he has a lot of things behind him that he can become better. I certainly hope and think that he will become better. He ain't there yet, and Danhausen is just over. So it works out. So he had a match with a.
Well, I think his time is almost over too. So
Danhausen's.
That's right.
Probably.
Look, I'll be in the minority in that, pun intended.
I would love to see Santino Marella come back. That would him and Danhausen to do something against each other or with. That would be great because that's the lane I see Danhausen in, and I don't know how many more legs that has. I can't say that it's got a short life or a long life. I'm not sure, but that would be cool to see that. But
well, it's a good thing you got a bag tonight.
Yes,
right. Moving right along. Well, what do you give that match, by the way?
I said I gave it 3 stars.
Okay, all right. I was just making sure. It's a 1 for me. I'm sorry, that's not what I'm here for. Moving
I know
on.
you're here for the Bellas and Paige and Jade Cargill. I tell you,
that's right. Did you see they teased a match with Jade?
I'm here for it.
Hold, please. See if I can get the. Whoa. Nope, that's not going on here. I may check the private chat. Holy Moses. Where was I?
You see,
next match, WW2? Whoa.
Next match.
There we go. Yeah, so moving right along, we had, of course, the U.S. Championship with Trick Williams and Baron Corbin.
Yeah. It was, man, another 3-star match.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like that Baron Corbin is your now new U.S. champion?
No. I wish Trick would have had that title a little longer. I think there's more. I think there was more to do with Trick with that title. So like how the match played out is separate from my opinions on that. You know what I'm saying on that match. Like, you know, you can like the movie but not like the ending. Like we just said, for example, when it comes to Brock and Oba, I wasn't a big fan of how it ended. But in that case, it was because it ended a bit shorter. I think there was more to go with. In this case, Baron versus Trick, I thought that Trick deserved to get that win. I think there was more to do with them there. Unless somebody got some time off or is masking the injury, and then this needs to be the way for them to get out of there. So we've seen that before classically, but I wasn't a fan of him winning, of Baron Corbin winning, tonight at least. Nonetheless, I think the match was pretty good. Good job, Yachty, getting that table spot. Yeah, but no, it was okay. It was all right. It was a 3-star.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I think I'm really disappointed. Right, I'm just gonna go out and say it. Corbin just came back. I get it, but this is the push. That's who gets the push.
I mean, have you noticed the
all right, that's all. No, that's all. I'm gonna just leave it at that. One of the most over guys. I mean, we talk about, are you more over than him? Are you more over than her? You know, Humpty Dumpty went over the wall. Like, you know, I'm sorry. I mean, this is cut the.
Right.
Okay.
Notice remember the 4-way. Remember the 4-way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it wasn't a triple threat. You're what?
No, remember the 4-way that happened.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Like what you just said.
Just one of the hottest stars. And a dude with zero momentum. We're just giving him titles now. Sorry, dude. I don't know. Maybe I've aged out. I don't know. Maybe I'm part of the wrong crew now. You know, I came from that. You know, like this is I can't do it. I can't do it.
You know, when you did this, I don't know. I just took a flashback really quick to something that I heard in my mind, that when the NWO got their pay-per-view sold out, the booking was so terrible. Do you know the NWO didn't win a single match on that card?
No, bro. I remember I bought Halloween Havoc like it was WrestleMania, bro, and I was like, "What do you mean?" You know, at Bash at the Beach. I'm like, "What?" Right. No, you know, like I just paid $59.99.
Right, bro. They didn't win a single match on a card named after them. That is crazy. That is hilarious.
That needs to be studied.
Shit. Like,
hey, put that in with the burial of Dominic Mysterio.
All right, bet we'll do that.
There you go. All right, we'll keep it going here. Of course, we had Penta and Chad Gable.
4-star match.
Oh, imagine that. Okay, go on.
I felt like, though it was predictable. I mean, we know when a star loses on a major level, in that way, like a developing star, you already know something was greater. Think about it like this: 1992. Bret Hart lost the Intercontinental title to Davey Boy because he was going to be that guy, 4 months later or whatever. But then 4 months, he's the WWF champion. Chad Gable had a great match of the year candidate against El Grande Americano. Lost that match, got demasked. And so him having the match versus Penta was, oh man, what could you say? How could this match not be a good, or if not great match? 4-star match. What more am I looking for from Penta Chad Gable match? Maybe a little bit longer run time. Maybe a little bit more outside of the ring. Some of what he gave to a Grande Americano in that match, that would have been cool, a bit more brutal. But Chad Gable versus is not the same persona, as a Grande North Americano. So he couldn't. So it wouldn't make. I guess maybe it wouldn't make much sense for him to be as brutal as he was versus
No, this is the programming show with Van Helsing.
You said what?
It's the same, this is the same premium live event that had Van Helsing in the minis. You're not going to get that kind of quality match.
Oh boy, you still on? You still go figure that. Yeah, but Penta dropping the title, that to me is still somewhat surprising. I don't know. It was hard because basically both of these guys in the ring is kind of faces. Like, I want to know what a Penta heel turn looks like, because I'm not sure. I would like to know what that looks like.
Look, I get it. You win in front of your home crowd. It is his first.
Unless you're Brock Lesnar.
Hmm?
Unless you're Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
I told you I was impressed with that Gable match on AAA. I think I'd asked you to watch it. If you hadn't, but
I did. That's what I say. Match of the year candidate.
And I told you, it's not a surprise to me that I told you I was really worried about, like, if there was any, I felt confident that if there was any individual that could complement AAA because of how it was, previously ran, and it was ran fine, it would be, of course, Undertaker, right? And so just kind of seeing the quality of product there, and getting a little bit, they gave a taste of that. And again, that's why I brought up what Bischoff said in the cruiserweight division, because what disappoints me about watching these dudes get buried is the talent that's actually there. So whether that is raw talent, once upon a time, or a more polished version as we're seeing presently.
So you talk about getting buried. I'm looking at a limited amount of runtime. Remember,
when you wrestle for 30 minutes in a 3-hour show, then that's unfortunately you can't get to everybody. And then the women typically get scratched, remember, because somebody went long.
But this is why I distinctly remember being a big fan of the brands alternating PLEs. So you didn't have to worry about that. Now, you know what, though? I don't know if my argument has as much merit applying to SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is 2 nights. So this would be like SmackDown having night 1 and Raw having night 2, or vice versa. So it may not apply here. You may still have runtime, promo, whatever issues. But I think when you talk about somebody getting buried, or the scarcity of talent, consider that each brand is responsible for putting together a whole PLE. And then you still have talent that's primarily dedicated to one brand during the week. So when or how will we ever see them sufficiently if there's an abundance of talent in the brand
and the two shows share the same 3 hours for pay-per-views versus each show having their own 3 hours because it's that much talent in the landscape of WWE now that the shows could have their own pay-per-views or PLEs.
Okay. Then, of course, moving along to Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. Of course, there were some additions there that
Gunther and Kevin Owens.
What do you got?
Unfortunately, I had technical issues. I could not see this match. And they didn't resolve until after the bell had rung. So, in full transparency, man, I did not see it. What do you say?
Yeah, I liked the embrace between KO and Sammy. It kind of set the stage for what we would see later, right? With Roman and Seth. And then, of course, they immediately go fisticuffs, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, it was nice to see KO back for those that watch LFG. He never left, right? So he was part of it. I think if I were the original two, I would have been a little bit disappointed, right? But otherwise, as far as like how the match and everything went, I mean, look, dude, you know, he just got cleared, right?
Yeah. You saw him wincing at it, right?
Bruh. And then what does he do in the first minute? Dives right off the top rope. You know what I mean? Like, it was, initially I was a little, I thought it was going to, you know, he was going to kind of dial it down. No, he went full go. That was the Kevin Owens we all know and love. And quite frankly, I would give this one a 4 just because of how it differentiated itself. I wasn't expecting it.
All right. A 4-star match. All right, bet.
And what was yours on there?
I remember this though. I didn't see.
Oh,
this.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think that's also the problem that I had in the interim match as well. I didn't get a chance to see that one.
Well, remember, it wasn't very long.
I didn't know that. Yeah, see, that's why I can't even answer with what you said. Never mind. We talk about women's matches, and then here you go with pausable moments here.
Well, look, this has been building for a while, right? Overall, for me, I would just give it a solid 3 and kind of just move on.
Oh, it was a 3?
I think that's fair.
Okay.
It felt like something we've seen, right? But I will say it teased for the future.
Yeah.
And in that, I could have given a higher score. I would say I'm reserving the higher score, I believe, for a later date. Let me just say that.
There are establishments that you go that they tease for the future too.
All right. And so what do we have left?
You go to like a real estate plaza, you go to, you go to the place they want them to build your home and they show you the model homes and they tease for the future, right? You know, Wayne Homes is one of them, you know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh boy. Well, and wait a minute, we didn't miss. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. You talk about Dom and Danhausen. You talked about ladies match. Talked about Baron Corbin.
I did want to ask you though, because it was Chelsea Green that obviously it did it, right?
Yeah.
And something I quite frankly that I do want to actually acknowledge here now that you gave me a second to do so.
Okay.
I actually respect the heck out of her because she was the yes person that paid her dues, I think, where it was visible to me.
Got you.
There's a lot of stuff like you said when you talk about as we had coined the fifth wall.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the fifth wall, right.
I think to that show, right, that we had watched
a
while back. And if you remember, she was a part of that, and she was trying to just stay relevant at that point in time.
Yeah.
And now she's interim champion.
Yeah.
That was what, 2 years ago?
Right.
So think of like you were right on the fringe of being out.
Yeah. You were on your way, right? Remember,
you were, dude. She was that close,
right? Didn't they put her like, yeah? And she invited, wasn't it her? Had her whole family there. Didn't find out she wasn't even on the card,
right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, and
She was
now
on her
you're
way.
interim champion. Like, I'm gonna give flowers where they're due, and for someone that paid their dues, because I can actually vouch for that and say that I witnessed it.
Oh yeah.
Also, man, I will. So, speaking of like over the last couple of years, Charlotte, it did appear that like her attire was a tribute to Scarlett that had passed away. So, yeah, not to get all choked up here, but you know that was I thought that was classy, and of course, you know, Jade was paying homage to dearly beloved,
right?
And so, yeah, I mean, if you'd like, you can recap one final time, 90 seconds, the Seth Rollins Roman Reigns match, if you would like. For those
of course.
that weren't with us earlier in the show.
Of course I will. Yeah. So, in short, that match helped to elevate and save the entire, or save or improve the entire SummerSlam program, because the story, let's say, while the promo to bring us into the arena was pretty obvious, Seth still is holding on to the fact that he helped to make Roman Reigns into the person he is, into the character, not to the character, into the persona that he is, right? It's basically the Shield binds us, and the Shield is why I'm always going to have the edge over you. And Roman had to acknowledge that make him acknowledge that the Shield is not at all why I'm here in the position I'm in, and you are in the position you are. So almost it's like, while you're holding it over me, the Shield is actually holding you back, Seth, because you still got a tie to me in that way. You still have a tie to me because of the Shield, and you still hold that over me, bro. This ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So the match and the story, it played out that way, where it was all about the two of them finally having enough of a time together, recognizing who they are as personas, and having these personas clash, and then resolving who they used to be and putting that behind them. And now they can go their own way. That was what the story, that to me was the story that I took from it, or the story that I told myself about it. And it played out in a way. They didn't miss at all. Everything made sense. That match had great pacing. For as long as it went, it didn't feel like that. That's how I know it had phenomenal pacing. That match went longer than I thought it did. And the amount of time that they spent without the ref, it's still, kind of like resetting, almost like the match almost reset near its end, and they got back to one up in one another. For Roman to win, I think was necessary, because Roman winning finally puts to bed the fact that the Shield is in their past. It is who they were, not who they are, and not who they've become. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's significant to their presentation to us, in the WWE universe. I think the match is 5 stars. I do. Now, is it an all-time great? I ain't saying I think, no, I'm saying at least right now in this moment, that's a 5-star match. Everybody was within their element. They didn't miss a spot to me that I could tell. And they gave as much as they got, both of them. So it wasn't heavy-handed, one side or the other. Kind of wished that Seth Rollins would have come on top, or let's say I wouldn't have been mad at that either. But it does make more sense for me that Roman did come out on top. And after a long time of seeing him as the tribal chief and the face of the company or whatnot, he lived up to it yet again with a performance like he had. So I'm good with it. It closed the show well, and I'm fine with it.
Fantastic. And so do you need a quick break before we get to a very interesting Name That Superstar?
Nah, man, let's go into it, man. It's Sunday night. The end of the weekend is upon us. The beginning of the work week is here. I don't want to keep anybody here much longer. Great for rocking with us. Thank you for rocking with us for sure. We'll be back to do it again. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's get to that Name That Superstar.
All right. Hang on just a moment.
You queuing it up, huh?
Yeah, well, you know what? The second one I have here.
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you something, bro.
I kind of realize it's too easy.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I've been sidebar. I'm about to go on Twitch, man. I don't care what nobody says. Y'all can miss me about the Waterboard and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the NES. Deal with stage 5-3 on Ninja Gaiden. Or deal with stage 6-3 or 6-2 or 6-3 or 6-4 on Ninja Gaiden. And then come talk to me about the Waterboard on the Turtles. I'm going to tell you what, NES Ninja Gaiden. Talk to me when you get through 5-3 or 6-1, 6-2, 6-3. How about the fact that when you hit the second to final boss stage, if you die in that stage, you restart the entire level. You want to talk about difficulty? 1989 NES Ninja Gaiden. Talk to me when you do that. And for those who can do it effortlessly, hey, I salute you. I salute you, bro. But I'm tell you what, I'm better yet. Pretty soon, what you mean, Gully's gonna show you better than he can tell you. I'll just put it that way.
All right. Speaking of showing better than telling, our Name That Superstar for this evening recently returned to the ring. D. Gully, this individual is from the Attitude Era. He recently returned to the ring. And I have a few more here. Here goes some others.
No, you ain't even have to do that. This is Val Venus. But my goodness. Man.
That's right. The Big Valbowski made his signature money shot return.
Hello, ladies. Yeah, the big Valbowski, Val Venus.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, for like a 60-something-year-old, is he in his 60s? He gotta be, right? He looked good for being in that shape, but I don't know if I'd be doing that. It's like sad, but not so sad, because he not really in bad shape. He just look old. You know what I'm saying? It looks like he's old. Like all of that looks old. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't think. Listen, hold on. This is what I'm trying to say. Look, I'll put it this way too. I gotta watch what I'm saying, because I hope that I'm at least in his type of shape.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. So let me not you know what I'm saying?
Come to your senses on that.
Yeah, right. I gotta watch how I say that. It's just yeah. But that's Val Venus for sure.
That is correct, and I wanted to make sure he got some kudos here because for a while there he thought his wrestling career was, of course, done from the medical side of things. So
yeah,
glad to see that he could return. And matter of fact, I wanted to say, if you remember one of his more infamous storylines with the choppy your pee-pee. Remember that was
yeah, bro. This is like it was part of the attitude era that I was like, hey man, I'm here for the wrestling, bro. I just ain't this wasn't my bag, bro. This wasn't my bag. This wasn't my bag.
So of course it wanted to make sure we gave him his flowers, and moving right along, mix it up a little bit and keep you on your toes here. This image is from WCW NWO Revenge.
Disco fever, yeah. Am I right or am I right?
That is correct. It is none other than Disco Inferno.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Disco. Yeah. Can you make that image bigger?
You know what? I believe I can here. Let's see. Should be able to blow it up here. Oh, is it not?
Yeah. Hey, he was kind of annoying, but then almost not. I don't know what it was about Disco Inferno that I didn't hate seeing him on screen.
Well, and again, for some of the clues, of course, he was part of the faction in TNA. He had, try to think what else I had written down on my cue card here. Let's see. Oh no, did I lose it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Whoops. Oh no, I lost it. There we go. Of course, real name Glenn, and actually was in the executive portion of WCW near the end. I don't know if many may or may not have actually known that. And so, but absolutely. Wanted to bring that back, of course, because we've talked about, you brought up the games, right?
Yeah.
And so wanted to get a little bit more into that space as well. All right. Any final thoughts from you?
SummerSlam was saved by its night 1 and night 2 main events, which both delivered. Night 2 main event delivered more so than night 1. Night 1 main event was great, stellar in its own right. I think of 3 hours in the card. I know you and I may disagree. I think that they've got the right framework for the amount of time for show, and if they stick to these rails, I think PLEs will improve in terms of pacing and quality, right? I wasn't too upset overall with it. I want to see better from our champions. I want to continue to see as good as we get from Roman Reigns, but I want to see better from CM Punk because I know he's capable of it, because he looks like he's in good shape too. But I think Father Time is undefeated, so maybe things that seemed like they were going to be there were not there. But I think that it can be improved, and I look forward to seeing him deliver on that, because I think he's as big a critic of himself as anyone is, and so he may see the same things we see. However, he ain't going to tolerate us talking to him about it, because he's the professional and we ain't. You know what I mean? But hey, we're fans, right? So we're only consumers of the product, so we got the right to critique what we consume. Again, it's entertainment. Nonetheless, I think that's all I got really for SummerSlam. I wasn't I stayed tuned to it, and again, as a reflection of the time constraints, I didn't seem like I missed much. I was able to catch it. I like the 6 p.m. start time. They were done basically by 10. That's not a problem for me either. I was able to get in a full, it's like watching 3 episodes, like sort of like almost binge watching a half a season of an episode and still getting out in time for dinner or whatever, or dessert. So I'm good with it. I like to see more of it. Good job, WWE. You're muted, bro. Yeah, go ahead. Try that again. Yeah. All right, so we disagree. So
I will leave it at that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
you're gonna accuse me of being a mouthpiece now? You think I'm on the take?
Well, you know, if we agreed on everything all the time, it would make for bad TV. So this is, of course, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. There were plenty of you. If you disagree with me, then again, all hate mail to Barbershop J. Attention Barbershop J, the Shop Report 365@gmail.com. If you disagree with Gully, then please leave a comment below, and I will gladly pin it to the screen and on our respective social channels as well. So if you would be so kind.
Well, look, we're gonna be back next week. We're gonna be back next week. We're gonna find a time and day. We'll be back next week with more of the Shop Report. Remember, football season is coming up, so we may do a fantasy team. We might do a fantasy draft. We might do a guillotine league. We might do a pick 'em. So stay tuned. Look out for that. We do look forward to giving y'all those fantasy picks and advice. But I'll tell you what, if they make me, I'll do a fantasy team. But if not, I ain't gonna be mad. As always, man, thank you to all of our fans from all the social media spaces, all the spheres, the Twitter sphere, the X sphere, the TikTok nation, the YouTube nation, everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, you know what I mean? You know where to find us, you know where to follow us. Hopefully we get bigger and better and you'll follow us from there. Double J, thanks for bringing this into the show and producing, doing your thing behind the ones and twos, man. We appreciate that. And for Barbershop J, our host, our esteemed leader, for Barbershop J, B Rich, Double J, I'm D Gully. This is the Shop Report. Remember, next time you want to know what's going on, come to the shop. Why? Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla.
Stop burying people.